Have you ever felt trapped by a fear so silent, so invisible, that it seemed as though no one else could see what haunted you? Have you ever wondered if that fear was truly yours, or perhaps just a shadow cast by the world around you? Let me tell you a story about a silent monk and a little shadow that changed everything. Long ago, in a remote village nestled between towering mountains and endless forests, lived a monk named Aaron. Aaron was not like the others in his monastery. He barely spoke a word. Instead, he carried a quiet presence that drew others closer, though no one quite knew why. His eyes held a calm they said could still storms. One day, a young man from the village named Curran came to the monastery. Curran was known for his restless heart and restless mind. His thoughts were a whirlwind, always swirling with worries and fears about what tomorrow might bring. Curran approached Aaron and asked, "Why do you never speak? Doesn't silence scare you? Don't you fear what lies in the quiet?" Aaron looked at Curran with eyes steady and deep. He simply pointed to a small, flickering shadow near the wall, barely noticeable if you didn't look closely. Curran frowned. "Is that a shadow? What does it mean?" Aaron walked slowly to the shadow and said softly, "This shadow is like fear in the heart. You see it, but you don't always understand where it comes from. Yet it follows you everywhere, silent but present." Curran was puzzled. "But how do you live with it? How do you not let it control your mind?" Aaron's lips curled into the faintest smile. He gestured for Curran to sit beside him under the ancient Bodhi tree outside the monastery. "Let me tell you a story," Aaron said, "about a little sparrow in a mighty storm. The little sparrow lived in a forest, full of life and colors, but every time dark clouds gathered, the sparrow would hide, shaking with fear. It believed the storm was a giant beast that wanted to harm. One day, tired of hiding, the sparrow asked an old owl, known for its wisdom, "How do I stop fearing the storm?" The owl looked at the sparrow and said, "The storm is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It shows you how strong your wings truly are." "But I am small," said the sparrow. "How can I fly through something so vast and cruel?" "You are small, yes, but within you is the power to rise above fear if you choose to understand it, not run from it," replied the owl. Curran listened closely, the weight of his own fears settling softly in his chest. Aaron continued, "You see, the sparrow realized that by facing the storm, it learned to control its fear. It discovered that the shadow the storm cast was big, but the sparrow's courage was bigger." Curran's gaze dropped to his hands. "But what if I fail? What if the fear wins?" The monk finally spoke his first words to Curran, calm and clear. "Fear will always be there, like the shadow on the wall. It is the choice to face it that changes your life, not the absence of fear." Days passed, and Curran returned each afternoon, sitting quietly with Aaron beneath the Bodhi tree, learning without words what strength felt like. Aaron heard Curran's deepest fears without judgment, simply letting the silence teach its own lessons. One evening, a storm struck the village. Thunder rumbled across the sky, lightning danced dangerously close. Curran, who would have once shuddered inside his home, stepped outside. The rain poured, the wind howled. Fear rose inside him, as fierce as the storm itself. But then he remembered the owl's words, the sparrow's courage, and the silent monk's calm eyes. He breathed deeply, feeling the storm and the fear as parts of one whole. And for the first time, Curran stood still amid the storm, not because he was fearless, but because he chose to be brave. When the storm quieted, Curran came back to Aaron and said, "I felt the fear, but I didn't run, I stayed. And something inside me felt alive, stronger." Aaron nodded, a subtle warmth in his gaze. "The storm will come again, and so will the shadow of doubt. But now, you know they do not own you. You have learned the secret that many never do. True courage is not the absence of fear. It is the choice to stand tall despite it. Fear is a shadow. Never let it convince you that you are less than the light casting it. The moral of this story is this: your fears are like shadows, often bigger and darker in your mind, yet powerless without your permission to control you. You will never be free of fear entirely, but you can learn to live with it, to listen to it, and most importantly, to choose courage over retreat. In moments when doubt beckons, remember the sparrow, the owl's wisdom, and the silent monk beneath the tree. Choose to face the storm, knowing that every step forward is an act of bravery. And with each act of courage, the shadow loses its power and your strength shines brighter than ever before. So the next time you feel that silent, creeping fear, ask yourself, will I let this shadow control me, or will I stand and show how brightly I can shine?